Okay, Thirvan Sarna everyone. Today I will discuss about Majjima Patipada or Majjima Patipada in Sinhala, which is known as middle path in some books. It is not ideal to call middle path because then you get the wrong idea, but I will come to that after going through the other two paths that Tathagatan once mentioned in the Dhamma, Chakka, Pavaththana Suthraya. This was the first discourse that Tathagatan once did after becoming enlightened for the five ascetics, Kondanja Vappa Badhya Mahana Masaji. And this Dhamma, Chakka, Pavaththana Suthraya has a lot of information. It has all the core, everything that needs, everything one needs to get to nirvana or get to the path of nibbana. So you will hear a lot of what is in Dhamma, Chakka, Pavaththana Suthraya today. Firstly, I have actually got the Dhamma, Chakka, Pavaththana Suthraya with me. So in there, Tathagatan Vahanse first says, Dveme bhikkave anta pabbajitena nasevitabban. So he's saying there are two paths that you should not take. So he's explaining the two paths because what he's saying is the normal person would either take one of these paths. They're not going to see the Majjima Patipada, because for one to see the Majjima Patipada alone, that he has to become a Lord Buddha, right? Or he has to listen to a sermon from a noble person. Otherwise, one wouldn't understand. So the two paths are Yo chayang kamesu kamasu kallikanu yogo hino gammo potujjaniko anaryo anatta sanghito. So the first one is kamasu kallikanu yoga. So that is one path that we all take. I'm not saying we take that to go to nirvana or assuming that will take us to nirvana, but people are following this path, or they are walking the sansara or the life cycle using this way, going through this way. So this is kama sukhallikana yoga, means kama sukha allikaya anu yoga. So kama sukha is the panchakama, is what kama sukha is. So in order to fulfill the panchakama, they go behind the kama sukha. Alli means allagatta. So that means you're being attached to the kama sukha. You're following a path. So any person, any normal person you take, you will find out that most of the people are going behind kama sukha. They're trying to achieve happiness by going through the kama sukha. So this is not the way to nibbana. So this is the one path that we should not take in order to become Arihatun Vahanse. So that is the first path Tathagatan Vahanse mentioned. If one gets to these, as in the Panchakama, while he is going behind them, if he gets these, what happens is he will not fulfill. He will get the Panchakama. He's not saying he won't get any, but the thing is he won't fulfill. And at the end, it will be a useless exercise. It will be just the effort. You put a lot of effort and get the Panchakama, and after having whatever you went after getting it, you're not satisfied. You still want more and more. You're trying to fulfill it, which never happens. So that is why it's a useless exercise. And then comes to the next one, which is yochayang atta kilamatanu yogo dukko anaryo anatta sanghito. And the other one is the atta kilamatanu yoga. Atta kilamatanu yoga. Atta kilamata anuyoga. The people who are following this path are normally they most of them are ascetics. They become ascetics, but they have a drushti. They have the wrong views. What they think is they try and give the body a lot of sufferings, thinking that it will either end up all the sins and make them go to heavens, or they have some kind of wrong view. And Tathagatan Vahanse is saying this won't take you to Nirvana. So you're just losing all the energy you have. Some people, they starve. Some people, they when Tathagatan Vahanse's time, there were some people who stayed outside without clothes, and they were standing closer to fire. They were trying to burn the sins. They were thinking, okay, if we stand closer to the fire, they can burn the sins. So these are wrong views. And some people, they starve, they don't eat. Some people, they used to behave like dogs. They thought, okay, if I behave like a dog, I'm going to spend all the sins, and then after spending all the sins, he will attain the ultimate happiness, something like that. So they had a lot of wrong views. Some people, they behaved like different animals. They did a lot of things. So this is not the right view. That is what Tathagata Vahanse is saying. And now he comes ete bhikkave ubho ante anupagamma majjima patipada tathagatena abhisambuddha. Now he is saying my way is the Majjima Patipada. So this is the right path, the correct path to attain Nibbana. But for people, when they look at a person, what happens is they will think, okay, there is a noble person. He's not going behind the Panchakama. He's not doing any sufferings. He's not suffering badly. Eating as normal, sleeping as normal, doing everything as normal. So the normal person would think, okay, so this is the middle path, not in any of the ends. But that is not the right meaning of this, right? Now comes to the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra again, then now explains, Tathagata Vahanse explains in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra, Katamacha sa bhikkhave majjima patipada tathagatena abhisambuddha chakku karani jnana karani upasamaya abhiññāya sambodhāya nibbānāya. This, while when you follow this path, you will become intelligent. You will get the wisdom. You will get to the. He's explaining how you get to the enlightenment. Ayameva ariyo attangiko maggo seyyatidang samma ditti samma sankappo samma vacha samma kammanto samma ajivo samma vayamo samma sati samma samadhi ayanko sa bhikkave majjima patipata tathagatena abhisambuddha chakku karani jnana karani upasamaya abhiññāya sambodhāya nibbānāya samvattati. So this is what is Majjima Patipada. It is the Arya Ashtangika Marga, or Ari Atangi Magga, or the Eightfold Path, is what Majjima Patipada is. But you can't just say Majjima Patipada is Eightfold Path and finish the question, because how do you get to that? Then he explains further. So then he explains in the same discourse, he is explaining about the Chaturarya Satya, the Four Noble Truths. He is explaining about the Anicca Dukkha Anatta. So he is explaining about the Eightfold Path. He's explaining everything in here. So everything is connected. This is what you need to understand. So then he starts Jatipi Dukkha, Jarapi Dukkha, Maranampi Dukkha, Piye Vipayogo Dukkho, Appiyehi Sampayogo Dukkho, Idampi Ampichang. And then he explains about the dukkha, that the types of suffering that people go through. So now he explains, okay, Jatipi Dukkha, whatever there is a jatiya, if there is something, there is a dukkha along with it. Jarapi, when it changes, there is a dukkha with it, there is a suffering with it. When something dies, there is a suffering with it. He's explaining this, and then at the end he summarizes everything, and he says, Idampi yampi chan nalabati tampi dukkha. So this is where the summary is. So every suffering is associated with idampi yampi chan nalabati tampi dukkha. What does that mean? Idampi yampi chan. If there is something that doesn't happen to the way you want, that is where the suffering is. So it doesn't matter what. If you take dying, if you take a death, if that death is not according to what you want, that is when the suffering is. Say for example, there is a person, that person is an enemy of yours. He doesn't let your children go to the roads, he doesn't let your wife walk, he doesn't let anyone in the whole village do anything. He is a very bad person, and his death might be not a suffering for you. So not every death is a suffering. So it might end up as it's a happy death. You understand? But that is not what you want. So if something is not according to what you want, is when there is a suffering. So there is another person, he's a very good person, he helps everyone, and that person dies. That death is something that you don't want to happen. If that happens, that will bring you suffering. But the other death, that enemy's death, is not something that you don't want to happen. So that won't bring you suffering. So that is what you need to understand. It is, everything is associated with your attachment, your desire, your want, your need, your like. This is the core of Buddhism. So this is what you need to understand. So all these dukkha, jatipi, jarapi, maranampi. So if anything changes, just because it changes doesn't mean you're not going to like it. If it changes to a different thing that you don't like, say for example, your son, he's a baby. You want him to grow. He's changed. So you like to see when he's grown up. So that change is a good one. So you're not going to suffer. But imagine your son changes to becomes a sick person. You don't like that. Then it brings you suffering. Or imagine your son is he's old now, you are older, you're like in 70s, and you see your son growing old, and he's lost all his hair and everything. Now you don't like to see that. You want to see your son as a young person. So that gives you sufferings. So everything, it could be the death, it could be the change, it could be anything associated with the like. So if you dislike something, that is what that gives you a suffering. So anything that changes according to not what you want it to happen, right? So this is the understanding you need to get. Idampi yampi ichchang nalabati tampi dukkha. That gives you the suffering. That is the core of Buddhism. This is what you need to understand. So when one understands this, then he understands anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca. So that is, we can't maintain anything the way we want to maintain. It doesn't happen the way we like it to happen. We have no control over anything. So when someone understands it, or when someone understands that it is not fulfilling, then he understands that it is a suffering. So he gives a suffering as a result. Then he understands that this process itself is a useless process. So when one understands that, that is when he comes to the Samma Ditti. So one comes to the Samma Ditti, then no one has to say, now we go back to the Eightfold Path, which I explained a couple of weeks ago, or last week, I can't remember. So this is the core of Buddhism. This is what you need to understand, right? So anything else associated with that is so when someone understands, I will just run through the Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Vacha, Kammanta, Ajiva, Vayama, Sati, Samadhi quickly, so that if someone joined to this sermon, then you can listen to that as well. So when someone understands that there is nothing to go for, there is nothing valuable to protect, there is nothing really we have control of, then he's not going to want to do Miccha Sankappa. He's not going to have any he will have Avyapada Sankappa, Avihinsa Sankappa and Nekkhamma Sankappa. He's not going to go behind karma, because it's not going to fulfill. He will understand according to how much he understood. I'm not saying he's never going to go behind any karma, according to his understanding, right? And then Vyapada, he's not going to hurt anyone. He will not have any Vyapada Sankappa. He will not have any Vyapada thoughts, hatred thoughts, and Avihinsa, or hurting thoughts, right? And then Vacha, his words, he's not going to lie. He's hardly ever going to lie. He's thinking, okay, what is the point in lying? What am I trying to achieve here? So his whole mental process changes. His thought process changes. He's going to think differently now. Why am I going to just give him tell him something wrong, right? Why should I misrepresent anyone? That's not the right thing to do, right? So then Samma Kammanta, he's not going to do the Panatipata, Adinnadana, Kamesu Michchachara. He's going to stay away from them. He's going to think, oh, what's the point of killing? What am I going to achieve? Because then he understands about the world and what are the realistics, or the reality of the world. He understands the characteristics of the world, which is anicca, dukkha, anatta. So when one understands the anicca, dukkha, anatta, he's going to think, why should I kill anyone? Why should I steal? Adinnadana venamani. Kamesu michchachara. What is the point in sexual misconduct? So that he's going to stay away from those. He's not going to want to do those things, thinking there's no point doing that. Then it comes to Samma Ajiva. So he's not going to do anything, any wrong job. He's not going to do any wrong act. He's going to stay away from any wrong act, which will include the Dasa Kusala. He will stay away from the Dasa Kusala, the 10 immoral activities. And then Samma Vayama, he will be putting effort. He will be putting effort in 4 different ways. The 4 different ways are to add kusal. One is to add kusal, as in whatever kusal he was doing, whatever the merits he was doing, whatever the moral activities he was doing, he will increase it. If he wasn't doing any type of moral activities, he will add them on. And then the third one is, if he was doing something bad, he will reduce it. And if he was doing something bad, he will get rid of it. Right? So those are the 4 efforts that he will always put. And then samma sati, he will be concentrating. His concentration will be on the anicca dukkha anatta. His thought process will go through anicca dukkha anatta all the time. And then samadhi. So when someone is having this type of concentration, he is in samma samadhi. He's not going to have karma. He's not going to have raga. He's not going to have dvesha. He's not going to have moha. Then he will achieve samadhi. And when he goes to meditation, it's very easy. He can concentrate on the nirvana. He can focus on nirvana. He understands. Then he will see the good in nirvana. Etan santan. That is when he realizes etan santang etam panetam yadidan sabba sankara samato sabbu padipati nissaggo tannakkoyo virodo nirodo nibbānanti. So then he comes to this. So he is walking the path. So that is how a person will come to this Arashtangika Marga and start walking the path. So this is Majjima Patipada, is effectively the Arashtangika Marga. In the Dhamma Chakka Pavaththana Sutta, it is also explained the 4 noble truths in detail with examples. So that is the Majjima Patipada. Do you have any questions on this? Not sure if I missed anything important. I just had look. And also with this, he sees, he understands the paticca samuppada, or the cause and effect theory. He understands the causes and the effects. So causes is the nicca sukha atta, were the causes of keeping in the world. So when someone believes in nicca sukha atta, when they have that view, that vision of nicca sukha atta, this is nicca sukha atta, the world is nicca sukha atta. They think, oh, it fulfills, it's pleasurable, it's valuable, nicca sukha atta. And then hetu nirodha, the getting rid of the causes. Now it's anicca dukkha anatta. It's not nicca anymore. It's not gonna fulfill. Someone understood that it's never going to fulfill. It's anicca, dukkha. Therefore, it's a suffering, and therefore it's anatta. There is no value. There is no point. It's a useless exercise. So that is the hetu nirodha, the getting rid of the hetu, or the causes. So when one understands that person understands the hetu and the phala. So this brings me here. If I get rid of the causes, then there won't be that result. It's like fire. There is a fire. So you find out why there is a fire. So what made the fire? What created the fire? So when you get rid of what created the fire, there won't be a fire anymore. The fire doesn't happen. So that is the Hetupala or the Paticca Sampada. It doesn't have to be the Paticca Sampada. It doesn't have to be in the avidya pacha sankara pacha nama rupa pacha salayadana passa vedana tanna upadana bhava jati jara marana soka parideva. That is also Paticca Sampada in a little bit more detail, but it is the same thing if you summarize it. So jati jara marana soka parideva dukkha domanassa upayasa sambhavanti. So then when there is a jati, it will end up in a suffering because of avidya. We started with avidya. Avidya is the nitya sukha, atta is the avidya. So when it starts with avidya, then comes Trishna, avidya, pacha sankara, Vijnana, Namarupa, Salayatana, everything. We will explain, we will go into the Paticca Sampada in detail in a different discourse because it's very broad, and it's very we have to it's better to learn other concepts, other things before we go to Paticca Sampada, because it is somewhat difficult to understand unless you know you have a broader understanding. So we'll come to Paticca Sampada as well in the next couple of months, hopefully. But before that, we will cover as much as we can. Do you have any questions to do with Majjima Patipada or Madhyama Pratipada? Or do you have any other questions? But the four efforts prevent arising from unarisen or unwholesome states. They usually translate it. It is there are four. Nupan kusal upadwa ganima. That is one. Upan kusal වැඩි දියුණු කිරීම. That is two. I will go through one by one. නූපන් අකුසල් නූපදවා ගැනීම, උපන් අකුසල් නැති කර ගැනීම. So අකුසල් කුසල් are moral and immoral activities. So they are talking about the moral activities and the immoral activities. So whatever moral activities you are doing, upan akusal වැඩි දියුණු කර ගැනීම. That means the moral activities that you had before, you improve on them. That is one. The second one is nupan kusal upadwa ganima, the moral activities that you didn't have before. So dana sila bhavana, those are, for example, you weren't doing any meditation before, you were doing dana, you were giving alms before, you weren't doing any sila or bhavana before, but now you're doing sila. Sila is observing sila. It's like you're adhering to some kind of precepts, right? So these you didn't have before, but now you're doing. These are new ones that you're doing now. So these are new. So that is the second one, right? If you had been giving alms, you improve on that. You're giving more and more. So those are the first two. Then comes to immoral. So nupan kusal akusal nupan akusal. So if you didn't have any akusal, if you didn't have any some kind of immoral activity, say for example you weren't doing any sexual misconduct before, but you were stealing and you were killing animals or something, right? But you make sure this, whatever you didn't do, you make sure that won't happen ever. That is one thing. And then whatever you were doing before, you get rid of that. That is the second one. So that's the four. So it's to do with moral activities and immoral activities. So effectively you are walking the path. When you walk in the path, when you see the Dhamma, that happens automatically. You don't need to think about the four and do it. That is what the effort is for. You put an effort. You want to do something. You get an idea. Oh, I feel like doing a moral activity, for example, and then all of a sudden, no, I'm not going to do it. What is the point in doing it? So that is the effort. But that was something that you were doing before. I mean, immoral activity, sorry. So you feel like doing some immoral activity, and then all of a sudden anicca dukkha anatta comes into play, and you're contemplating, you're thinking, okay, no, this is not right. What is the point of, what am I trying to achieve? Those thoughts come into your mind all of a sudden. It's not going to be like before nothing came across. You just thought about the immoral activity, you just did it, and you enjoyed it. That is how it happened. Now it's changed. Now you understand Dhamma. Now the Dhamma comes into your mind. Oh, this is not right. I know I was doing this before, but this is not right. This is, what am I going to achieve? Those things come into your mind. Doesn't mean that you will definitely stop, but you will put an effort. So that is the vayama. You will put more and more effort as you go along the path. So that is what the effort is about. This is what the vayama is about. So you put effort and you stop it, right? And then this has been explained in the effort has been explained more in Dasanena Pahatabba, Bhavanam Pahatabba, in one of the sutras. I can't remember the name actually. Yeah, as well, maybe we can go through that as well. That is also a very, very important sutra, where they say you need to become a sotapanna before you do meditation. So that is very good. But then they explain further a few more steps before you do the meditation. There are a few more steps to go through. So in that, this vayama has been explained, how to stop what you were doing. So anyway, coming back to this, yes, so that is how you stop your immoral activities, or reduce what you were doing, and make sure you don't do any new ones. And with regards to moral activities, you improve what you were doing, you do more and more of what you were doing, and then you do new things that you were never doing before. Because I don't think I don't know if you guys were, but I wasn't meditating before, but now I meditate. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning. I was like, what am I going to do? What's the best thing I can do now? And then I went down and then I meditated. That was the best thing I could find at 4 o'clock in the morning, because I went to bed early yesterday. I normally go to bed after 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, but yesterday I went to bed around 11 o'clock in the night. So I can't sleep too long. There is a problem. So I woke up and then did meditation. So that was what came to my mind. That was the best thing I can do at 4 o'clock. And then I listened to a couple of sermons from Vaharakatera as well, with regards to Majjima Patipada. So these some of these were taken from those as well. Okay, so any other questions? Anything else that you want me to explain about? Any other questions you have? I hope you guys are listening to the other sermons as well, and the Karmasthana. Please comment if you have anything. It's fine. I will take it as a constructive criticism. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter, because then if someone criticizes, it's good, right? Then I can find out, oh, am I sad about this? Am I worrying about this? That becomes a teacher. Okay, looks like there is no more questions. So we can wind it up for today. and then do another one next week, same time. Is it? Oh, I don't know if it's, what day is it? Next Thursday, is that Christmas or something? What is today? Okay, you can let me know. 26th, or is the Boxing Day? If you guys are okay with that, I am fine. Oh, actually, I have. I can't actually. So we won't be able to. Yeah, we'll have the week after. 2nd Jan. Yes, please. So then hopefully I will have a lot of videos by then as well. On my YouTube channel, and I'll try and do all the karmasthana, all the basic karmasthana before that.